Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are viewing today's pre-recorded on-demand webinar featuring Railbookers 101. Folks, this is anything and everything you'd like to know about how we can help you, your friends, and family travel anywhere and everywhere around the world by rail. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, a little bit about our presentation today. If you are looking at your screen, folks, all right, in the top left-hand corner, that is the video. That is me. Hello. Thanks so much. My name's Jim Marini. So excited to be here today, taking you through all the great highlights of Railbookers. Also, down at the bottom of your screen, on the big, large picture, you can ask a question. A member of our team will respond back to you shortly. You can take a survey, which I always encourage all the great folks out there to do. We have some important links. Obviously, you can contact us, or even better yet, contact your local travel advisor to book any of these exciting trips. But what are we going to talk about here today during our Railbookers 101? Advantages and benefits to traveling by train versus plane, or rail versus sail. Popular destinations to book for your next rail vacation. How Railbookers takes the complexity out of booking your vacation by rail. Also, how we can provide a single source for all the components of your vacation. Did you know you can also customize any trip that you would like with Railbookers? And if there's any discounts and special offers, please be sure to take advantage of those today. Now, a little bit about Railbookers. We are part of the Railbookers group brands. And if you look at the large picture on your screen in the top left-hand corner, yes, our sister brand, that is Amtrak Vacations. We are the official tour operator in the United States for Amtrak. So if any of you, your friends and family, if you want to travel locally or domestically in the lower 48, the continental USA, maybe you don't like to fly, you don't feel like driving, our sister brand Amtrak Vacations has packages from 3, 4, 5-day weekend, week-long getaways to 1 and 2 weeks long across the country, especially even out to the national parks. Now, Railbookers, what does Railbookers do? Pretty much everything else. Alaska, Canada, Europe, Australia, Asia, Africa, you name it. And it's all trips within each of those fantastic countries by rail. And as I mentioned, any trips can be customized. And the reason is all of our trips between both of our brands are what we call independent style vacations, flexible independent travel. And we'll touch a little bit more about that as I go through today's presentation. But one of the best highlights, I can never say enough about it. Did you know you could book any vacation with Railbookers up to 2 years in advance? Yes, up to 2 years in advance, including pricing and scheduling. And the nice part about Railbookers, as you'll see in just a little bit, even though the word Railbookers, of course, means we could book rail for you at any train tickets, any destinations all over the world, we do way more than just rail. From 3, 4, 5-star hotels to sightseeing tours, meals, activities. We can even book ferries for you, your friends and family out throughout Europe and other areas, even theater shows in London. Pretty much we can book most of everything for you folks, with the exception of flights. And as I mentioned earlier, always consider booking any trip with Railbookers through your local travel advisor, because not only will you not spend one penny extra, but they can also book flights for you as well. That's the way I always book my trips for my own family and friends, is through my local travel advisor. So consider doing the same today. Now, how are we able to book up to 2 years in advance? Well, I'm proud to say we have direct rail partnerships with many of these iconic trains that you can see right here on your screen. Not only some of the local trains, high-speed trains, but also some of those luxury trains as well. So we can book different types of trains and also different seating and sleeping accommodations on board the trains for you, your friends, and family. Now, there's so many reasons why travelers love traveling with Railbookers. And folks, these are the top 7 reasons why, starting in the top left-hand corner. When you or your local travel advisor books with us, you are speaking to one of our rail experts, okay, who knows the best routes, the best times of the year, where to go, when to go. Are you looking for the shortest and fastest route, or are you looking for the most scenic route? All right. If you want to be staying downtown, city center in any major city, we got lots of options. Okay. Also, any of you that are planning to travel on any cruise or river cruise, why not extend your trip? Why not see more of the destination while you're in that destination? And we could take you way beyond the port cities, all right, before or after any cruise. As I mentioned, you also get to choose between a 3, 4, or 5-star hotel or a 3, 4, or 5 diamond hotel. So hotel choice. As I mentioned, again, you can also book up to 2 years in advance. There is no piecing it all together. If you were to try to book any rail tickets on your own, folks, it is not an easy task, especially if you're booking different types of train tickets within different countries. Many of those countries have different currencies, different policies, different procedures. We piece it all together. You don't need to do that. As I mentioned, all of our trips are independent, FIT, flexible independent travel. So what does that mean? You see, unlike a traditional escorted bus tour, a motor coach tour, where pretty much from 6 to 8 in the morning, it's breakfast. From 8 to 12, it's sightseeing. From 12 to 2, it's lunch. From 2 to 5, it's more sightseeing. From 5 to 7, it's dinner. From 7 p.m. on, there's an evening activity. And that's most days and nights on any escorted guided tour. And there are some clients who like that type of structure and regimented schedule, morning, noon, and night, every day on the tour. But what we do at Railbookers, the same as our sister brand Amtrak Vacations, is a little combination of both. Some days you will have a full day guided tour with a local tour guide, or you may have a half a day guided tour, either in the morning or the afternoon. But guess what? The next day is a day at leisure. Well, that afternoon is free time. So you can explore on your own. Maybe go to some of those little outdoor cafes and bakeries to get a cup of coffee or a cappuccino, maybe some pastry if you're out in Europe. Folks, the last point on the bottom right, the choice is yours. From our suggested bestsellers to customizing your perfect trip right from scratch, we, and most importantly, your local travel advisor, can help you put it all together. Now, what's great with Railbookers, we have staff located all over the world. So not only in the Boston area, where I'm based, okay, but also down under in Australia, across the pond, in the UK, in London, north in Canada, and in the Western United States, Southern California. As I mentioned earlier, when you hear the word Railbookers, rail, of course, trains and rail is the heart of what we do, but it's just a portion of what we do. If you look in the top left-hand corner in each of these boxes, not only can we book the different types of trains, as I mentioned, but we can also book different types of seating and sleeping accommodations on board the trains, confirm seat reservations, sightseeing activities, tours while you're in the cities, okay, with local tour guides. Hotels, again, ranging from 3, 4 to 5-star. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner, ferries, okay, especially out in Europe, excursions, overnight rail journeys, and so much more. Now, when you do take advantage of all the great sightseeing tours we offer, well, here's something that makes many of our excursions and activities special and unique. You can skip those lines. We have small group tours included in most of our packages, again, with a local tour guide, giving you and your friends and family that local flavor. We also have unique and specialized included sightseeing. Maybe go visit a Parmesan cheese factory, have a cooking class, visit a winery, all right? And yes, even go on a little gondola ride for a little tour of Venice, as an example. Now, I know I mentioned this earlier, but for any of you that are planning to go or are wanting to go on any river cruise, whether it be the Rhine River, the Danube River, cruising the fjords of Norway, a Mediterranean cruise, or any cruise for that matter, anywhere around the world, many times you can board the train right in the port, avoid the cost, inconvenience, and stress of a road transfer. Some cases you can actually walk to the train station right from the port. We can take you, your friends, and family way beyond the port city. You see, sometimes some cruise lines will offer some type of extension, but typically it's for anywhere from 1, 2 to 3 days, and it's only in the same city that you either sail out of or you arrive in. You see, with Railbookers, we could take you way beyond. You could visit multiple countries in Europe. As an example, if you are traveling on the Rhine River and you start or end in Basel, Why not see more of Switzerland, one of the most beautiful countries in the world? And yes, our number one most popular country in all of Europe, where you can visit Geneva, you can visit Lucerne, you can go to Zermatt, one of my personal favorite areas, out to St. Moritz. You can even go down into Italy or start in Italy and travel north up into Switzerland. Again, pre or post, which basically means spending time before or after any cruise. And trains is such an easy way to take you, your friends, and family around. What's great about train stations, too, folks, so many of the train stations are close to city centers. They're in city centers, but you know what is also close to city centers? All our hotels, the majority of our hotels. So you don't have to try to figure out how to get from one location to another or how to visit some of these great sites and attractions that are downtown, as an example, in Europe. Many of our hotels that you get to choose from are located city center, which is also near the train stations. So, what are my options when booking with Railbookers? Well, if you look at the top left-hand corner, as I mentioned, on any of our trips, you can customize. You can add on any destination. Folks, wherever the train goes, we can take you there. By the way, a little fun trivia for all of you. You know, this past year, over 1 billion with a B, 1 billion people traveled on trains just in Europe. Just in Europe. All right. And wherever there's a train station, we can take you there. So you can add on any destination. Maybe you have family and friends in certain parts of Europe or certain areas around the world. You could take a round trip journey. All right. So if you want to start and end in any particular city, you can do that, and we can help make those arrangements by rail, hotel, sites, excursions. You can book a trip in reverse. You can upgrade to first class or different categories. As I mentioned, on board the train, you can add sightseeing tours or even upgrade to private tours. Again, lots of great options. Again, including 3, 4, or 5-star hotel. Folks, we have a whole range of digital brochures that highlights the different areas we travel to. Again, whether it's Alaska, Canada, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, Railbookers has you covered around the world. So my question for all of you during today's presentation on Railbookers 101 is, what destinations are you considering for your next vacation? Well, if it's any of those destinations I just mentioned, we are more than happy to help. Folks, give us a call, or even better, contact your local travel advisor. And with that, I hope you enjoyed today's presentation on Railbookers 101, the overview on all the exciting trips that you, your friends, and family can take advantage of throughout the world by rail. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.